There goes Jakarta. Yeah, this Insulindian uprising. As we held Batavia, that was kind of a critical moment. Because they just don't have the means to deal with Dutch industry. And just general power and influence and capabilities. Sweden has significant deposits of oil shale, a fact known since the 18th century. Before the Weltkrieg, we have been ignoring these deposits, but the modern day and age, fuel is what wins wars. Let us expand our operations mining it. Oh, those are Japanese volunteers. Oof, that's going to be painful. A painful loss, to be sure. Nicaragua declared war on El Salvador. The fall of Buenos Aires. The Patagonian revolutionaries have achieved a significant victory today as the flag of the Patagonian movement flies proudly over Casa Rosada. The battle for Buenos Aires was bloody, with fighting quickly devolving from house to house fighting across the main avenues of the Aviada de Mayo and the Aviada 9 de Julio. Socialist revolution has come to Argentina. Victory. Now we just need to take this back and jobs are good, and boss. Nobody wants to give that a go? Well, we'll leave it active just in case you decide to attack into the CSA. Meanwhile, you've arrived. You just go and take that capital, please. This might even end the war. Honduras joined the Liberal Pact. Patagonian Workers' Front took 13 states. Argentina has been annexed. So even though they took Santiago nice and early, Cuba's joined the Reichspact. That's good. That's a source of chromium secure for their heavy tanks. Now we're producing more than enough fuel. Wow, most of those planes have been shot down. To the point where I think I'm actually just going to go ahead and disband you. You're super elite, but there's 2 of you. And let's ensure that you guys are trained. I just want to make sure the submarines are trained. There goes my fuel reserves. But it's fine. That's what they're there for. Am I allied with Norway and Denmark, or just not attacking them this time? I did not choose to... Oh, League of East... I was like, League of 8 provinces? Are they back? I read the League of E, and then I was like, oh, no. League of East Chinese provinces declared war on Lingwan clique. Honduras and Guatemala. Brazil wins the World Cup. The crowd goes wild in Brazil as the host nation upsets the world of football. Uruguay's reign lasted since before the first World Cup, and it seems to be continuing as they were 1-0 up in half-time the final against the hosts. However, Brazil's pressure resulted in 2 goals in the second half, and the Bataille, the goalkeeper from the local club of Fluminense SC, held his ground against the Uruguayan counter-offensive. History was made, and now 2 nations can claim the title of world champion. Yes. World Champion America. There are more than one country in it. Am I allied to Norway and Denmark? Just not attacking them. So there is an event which is when the Norwegians start supporting the unions in your country, where you can choose to just attack Norway, which is what we did last time. And we've chosen not to do that. I would love to align myself with Denmark, but that requires the Stockholm Treaty, the Treaty of Stockholm, which I have no idea how you get. Because it's not a focus that any of us get. It's not Norwegian, Danish or Swedish. There we go, Insulindia has been annexed. Dutch East Indies survived. So that's Bulgaria, Spain, probably, and the Dutch East Indies. The only thing we've actually lost so far is League of 8 provinces. We're having a really good time with all the civil wars. Coming very, very good. Alright, so we just got the hospitals. I think next I want to get the logistics. Keep upgrading those weapons. Now, I think what I might also do is start making motorized. Oops. There he is. Something like this. Go. And I have the rubber for it. Thanks to my synthetic refineries. Oh yeah, we lost Venice. Argentina was National Populist, not pro-Reichspakt. And that's it. All of the industry is now finished. So I'm going to say it's probably time for us to acknowledge the Conservative victory of 2 years ago. Thankfully, the Swedish Conservatives have maintained our power and averted the disaster that could have been caused by the SAP. It is clear the people did not want Sweden to go the way of Britain and France and renewed their faith in conservatism. Now we can continue to take advantage of the markets and improve the quality of life for our citizens without resorting to the dangerous ideals of syndicalism. And we're going to go free trade. It is time we wise up and realise that tariffs hurt far more than they help. Many nations would like to buy some of the vast amount of resources we have, and it's the best way to stay out of this process with pointless protectionism. And we can also see that the oil shale requires excavation 1, so both of these require excavation 1. So we'll get oil from that, and we'll get steel and tungsten from that. Actually quite a lot of both. Ooh, and that's in Stockholm? Oh, we're going to get loads of oil. Because that's going to be modified by the infrastructure. I got there eventually. Alright, let's see how we're doing in the Union. Not great. They do seem to be pushing us back. Meanwhile, in Spain... the pain in Spain falls mainly on the plain. The pain in Spain falls mainly on the profane. Let's see if I can cut off these tanks. It's too tempting a target. Beijing government declared Rongyuan clique. So what exactly is happening in China? So we got the League of East Chinese Provinces. Two Zhangs enter, one Zhang leaves. And the Beijing government, which is not Wu Waifu. Chinese philosopher, that was one of Wu's besties apparently. Cool. And there we go, excavation is done, so we can start working on some of the special upgrades. Equipment conversion speed, that is actually something we are doing a fair amount of. The other thing I would like to do is upgrade my ships. I feel like that is probably something I should begin doing now. Alright, let's do some naval stuff. Because I have a lot of convoys, I don't feel like I'm going to need many more. 38 ammunition. Let's get the support stuff. Russia declared war on Finland. This is National Populist Finland though. And Paternal Autocrat Russia, which is probably going to be more friendly towards Germany. And we know that you just overthrew the Kingdom of Finland, so we don't like you. Would have been nice to take it for ourselves, but never mind. There's only one guy here. If you assist, we could kill this. Of course, if you don't assist, then we'll lose. Beijing's declaring war on everybody. Free trade economy, done. So now we can abolish Stotar. Which does give us the consumer goods factories. Which at the moment I like, because it's allowing me to build more stuff. Later on, stability when we want factory output, but right now we just want factories. And in fact, market reforms gives construction speed. We're in a really good time to do this. It is going to destroy our stability though. And our political power gain. Well, this one will. 20% more resource gain efficiency though. We're going to make a lot of oil. We're at a point now, economically, where we can lower taxes and reduce government spending. We do not need to, and should not control the economy, as further intervention would just hinder economic growth. But we also have to reduce the social welfare spending. We don't have enough money for that now. Without a doubt, this will be unpopular amongst the people, but hopefully they will pay back. Hopefully this will pay back. Ikhwan declared war on Jabal Shammar. The Ikhwa revolt. Openly declaring the revolt for the restoration of the true Islamic rule as defined by the Wahhabist preachers, a coalition of various Arab tribal leaders are bound together in opposition to the suzerain in the hopes of breaking the central power of the state and restoring the decentralized fiefdoms of old. Although there has reportedly been an agreement concerning the future ownership of the various Arab provinces, few expect the fragile alliance to survive a possible victory of their jihad. No focus. Just something that Jabal Shammar has to deal with. CTFAI are proving to be remarkably resilient. And I'm now out of manpower, so I might actually need to go to... Oh, no, I can't. Need 50% war support. Interesting. Well, we may as well get the last political leader in that case. Human rights lawyer would give us a lot of stability. So would the folk researcher. I mean, I would eventually like to get the old general. But not for a while. Whoa, 2 operative slots. Science. For science! We do not have the industry to support spies. 19 civilian factories. Why are you fighting the PSA? Although it actually looks like the United States is kicking the living daylights out of the CSA. Which does make me pretty happy. I would rather you were focusing your efforts here. And I think I'm going to keep my guys purely on a defensive basis now. Just wherever the fighting seems to be thickest. Hey, you're actually moving of your own volition. That's nice. The Spanish Civil War seems to be one massive stalemate right now. Emirate of Cyrenaica has joined the Cairo Pact. Right, they're going to be fighting the Ottomans at some point. That uprising did not last for very long. Monarchy restored in Greece. The Greek government today announced it would be restoring the monarchy, foregoing the referendum that originally restored the kingdom in 1920 prior to the overthrow in 1923. Rather than restore the crown of Alexandros, however, it's instead passed the crown to his younger brother, Pavlos. The new king, it is said, has much more radical and authoritarian ideas, learned during his exile which are more in line with the new Greek government, though the rest of the royal family will be returning to Greece along with him. The king spoke to a massive cheering crowd in Athens after returning for the first time in many years, saying that Greece has finally returned to the path it was meant to be on, and vowed to work tirelessly to rebuild the country. Oh, you did lose Thrace. No, Thessalonica. So Macedonia, I think you already had. You gained Eastern Macedonia, Shuldis, and Western Macedonia, Nish, and the rest I think you already had. So you actually gained the most from the Greeks. Interesting. Monarchist victory, and you went with Georgios. No, you went this way. Pavlos. Yep, that's the way you went. Interesting. And what government is Greece? Paternal autocrat. Fentian declared war on Beijing. The 5th Gilly-Fentian War. Oh, Germany is also market liberal. Nice. Tensions in China have remained high since 1927, when the German intervention brought the 20-year conflict with the various factions to a temporary standstill. Over the last decade, however, both the Fentian government in Manchuria and the Zhili in Beijing have consolidated and built their forces. The stage is set for the most dramatic confrontation in over 10 years. Whichever side emerges victorious, however, will not be alone. Japan and Germany still loom large over the region, as the land of the rising sun greedily eyes Germany's possessions in the Pacific, and the victory of this war will no doubt play a part in the conflict as well. Now, is Beijing still at war with half of China? Yes. Well, these bits. Two-front warfare. We're finally on Mordred levels of manpower, this is true. Studied intensely the Mordred videos, purchased the subscription, I still get whomped to try playing EU4 for the first time. First question I have for you then, who are you playing as? Because if it's not France or Castile, play France or Castile. There's the passive sonar. Just going to get active sonar. We need to get all 3 of these, and then also the smoke machines after. Fortunately, because we're out of manpower, I can't train any more troops. There are the taxes. Okay, resource investments next. Sweden is rich in natural resources, namely precious iron ore, as a valuable good in the European market. We can invest in the mines and improve excavation processes. This will create more working places and generate revenue. And part of that is I think I can now add AA, pretty much. And I think also 1 set of artillery, pretty much. Do it. Make it happen. Although I'm not going to have the manpower to actually add those units. Although what I can do is remove 1 unit of infantry, which will save us a bunch of manpower.